Hello, my name is Veronica, and welcome to the Learning Lab, episode number 107, a closer look at my latest Martha Stewart auto delivery punches. Come on into the lab and let's get started. My auto delivery came yesterday, and I was so excited I ripped right into it and started punching, but I wanted to take a little bit of time and share them with you. This is the auto delivery that I got when I got I think it's the swirly loops, and there are 4 in the set. And for some reason, I was thinking this one would be Christmas, but it's not. It's the floral ones, and I'm happy nonetheless. So let's start over here with this one. This is the flower vine trim punch, so that when you punch it out, you're left with just that little piece, and I will punch some for you in a bit. The other one in that set is this really cute Aster. And I am just seeing some of that twine that I purchased from Marshall's going through there. And then this one is the punch around the page set. This is the Anemone. And it's the deep edge one. As you can see, these are the huge punches, and I'm having a lot of fun with them. So that's the border one. And then this one is the corner punch. And in previous videos, I have shared with you how to use your corner punch as a border punch to get a deeper edge on your papers. I have already pre-cut some strips of paper, and this one is 1.5 by 8.25, and I just want to punch this so we can see what the vine will look like. Now, to get a good punch, not only do you need to put it in and push it to the back, but sometimes you have to give a little pressure on the top when you're pushing down just to keep it from slipping. When you move this down to line this up, over on this side, make sure this is pushed flush against the back, and that will ensure that you're getting everything. Gorgeous. So next up is the Aster punch, and it punches out this single shape. And I cut this piece of cardstock to 2.5 inches. Now the Aster is a double punch. So exactly what's a double punch? When you put it into your punch and you press down on the handle, cuts all the way through. Now, to get the double punch, so with the double edge punch, in theory, I should press it and it doesn't punch all the way through. It actually leaves part of it so that I can give some dimension to it. And I've just gone around the edges. So there it is, still attached to the card, and then you could just clip away these pieces that I have folded back. Now on to the Anemone. Now next up is the good old-fashioned punch around the page, and I am using the Anemone for this. I'm starting out with one piece of cardstock that's been cut to 4 by 4, and I'm going to do the corners first, opening up the wings and punching all 4 sides. Now I'm coming back with the border punch, opening those wings and lining up the edges of the corner punch with the edge of the corner punch on the border punch. And I'm coming in a little close on the border punch so you can see where to line up yours. So if you're looking right there, that little silver bit is where you're going to line yours up. And that's what's going to allow you to get that perfect punch. Let me see if I can get it put in there on that edge. So when I move it, you can see it's gone, and now I'm going to cover up that silver part with the white. That's where you're lining up for your corner punch. And because this is 4 by 4, it actually lines up perfectly on both sides. So this one is my 4 by 4, and here is the 6 by 6. I think it's absolutely stunning. Now, one thing that I thought about as I was looking at this is that if I took this 6 by 6 piece and punched in a different color for my 4 by 4 piece and layered that on top, I can get something that's really quite stunning. And so here you can really see the depth and dimension that can be achieved just by layering the 4 by 4 over the 6x6, and you could do the same thing with an 8x8 and a 10x10 and a 12x12 and just really get something beautiful there. I did mine in a square, but you know that you can also do a rectangle. You can do a 4x6, a 6x8, an 8x10, and a 10x12. Okay, so now I want to go back to the border punch, which is this one, and to show how that can be turned into a double-edged punch or trim. The piece of paper I'm using for this is 3 1/4 by 8 1/4, and I'm just going to take this and put it on my border punch. I have the wings extended, and for measurement purposes, I'm just going to take the paper all the way to the edge of this last part, and then I can line it up from there. Now that this side has been punched, I'm ready to punch the opposite side. But one thing I want to bring to your attention, if you look here, you can see how I ended this piece. And it's the same thing that ended on the very edge here. What I want to do is make sure that when I turn this, I'm going to get that same finished edge on both sides of my strip. And in order to do that, instead of just turning it around and going this way, because I won't get the same ending spot, instead I'm going to take it, turn it over, and then slide it back into the punch this way. That's what's going to line up these two edges here. And as you can see there, now my edges are the absolute same on both ends. So I'm just going to continue on down my strip. Okay. And now my border punch has now become a trim piece. It is gorgeous. If you want the area in between here to be narrower, then of course just cut your paper a little narrower. This one is 3 1/4 inch wide. If I had cut it 3 inches wide, then the space in between here would have become much smaller. In previous videos, I have also shown how to use a corner punch as a border punch. And in that case, you would just simply mark with a line where you want that punch to be, turn it over, and line it up at that point every time, and you'll get a beautiful deep edge border punch. Also, I've done another video where I've used these to punch around a circle. So make sure you check those out if you're looking for some additional ideas for your Martha Stewart punch around the page punches. I have to admit that I have fallen in love again with another set of Martha Stewart punches. This time it's the Aster, Anemone, and the Flower Vine. As always, thank you for joining me in the lab today. Please be sure to check out my blog at inkollusions.blogspot.com. Until then.